Welcome back, and now we're going to the final part of putting our dish together. So I'm just going to bring it down to cooker level, and you will see now that my potatoes, I had them boiling, and once they boil, we simmer them for about a good 20 minutes, and they should be cooked. The way we'll check that is just by putting a knife or a fork through there and make sure they're nice and soft. The next thing we're going to do is take a colander, and I'm going to drain all the water out of that. Give that colander a bit of a shake in it. And I'm going to put those back on a very, very low light, the potatoes, just to dry out a little bit. Now then, I'm going to my sausages, which I've got in the grill here, are cooking nicely. I'm just going to put my tomatoes on those, which remember are halved, and I put a little bit of salt and pepper on those and a bit of oil, and they're going to go back in the grill to finish off. My onions have now nicely caramelised, bit of colour with those, and my water for my broccoli is boiling away, and I'm going to put my broccoli in there once that's boiling, and that will not take long. So my potatoes are on, they've been drained and they are just drying out a bit. My onions are caramelised and cooked. My broccoli is now in boiling hot water, so I need to bring that back to the boil. And I'm going to put my courgettes onto my griddle pan. My griddle pan is really, really hot. You could use a dry frying pan for this, but it's got to be hot, and I've just very, very lightly brushed and seasoned the top of the courgettes. You can turn that down, you can hear those sizzling away already. A bit of thickness, remember, on those courgettes, don't be too thin. And they're just going on now, and they're sizzling away. Give it a few minutes to get some colour on them. My courgettes on, get myself some space. Now our potatoes now dried out a little bit, and I add a little bit of salt and pepper to those. Again, that's about taste. I'm going to put a little bit of milk with that. You can put some butter if you want to. With the milk there. I've got a potato masher here, I'm just going to mash that down. You might have a moolie, or you could have a potato ricer you could use. Today I've just got a masher, that's what I happen to have here. Just going to mash that down. And like everything else, just check the flavour, check there's enough seasoning in it. Yep, that's good. Leave that on one side. Now you can see now that my broccoli is boiling away there. I don't want to cook that much more than that. Now I'm not using it immediately, I can put it into cold water. So this, when it's put in the hot water, is called blanching. If I'm not using this immediately, I put it in cold water, and that'll be called refreshing. I'll leave that hot water on a minute, because I might just use that to reheat my broccoli when I'm serving the dish. I'm hoping now that my courgettes, not quite there, getting there. You see there, that one? You see that's just starting to get a bit of colour on that. That's what I'm looking for. It's not quite done that one, so leave it a little longer. And my sausages and tomatoes are nearly ready there. So now we can start putting this together. Find yourself some space, a nice plate here to put it onto. Now if we get 2 spoons, we can quenelle our potato, just a bit of a mix down. So to quenelle our potatoes, just going to get up 2 spoons like that, a nice shape. Like that. Make sure the big spoons if you're going to do this. And they're nicely quenelled round. I'll just do 2 there for the moment. So you might as well just potatoes on. These courgettes are coming on nicely now, starting a bit of colour on these. Get this lovely, that's great, they're looking really good now. I'm going to put a bit of broccoli back in hot water for a moment, just to put that in there to reheat that. I'm going to get my sausages. So 2 nice sausages on there. I've got my grilled tomatoes. I'm going to put some onions onto my sausages, like that. My broccoli, which I've just reheated, just make sure it's well drained, like that. Take a couple of bits of courgette that are nicely cooked. There we are. Just turn everything off for the moment. And there we have our finished dish. Right, so if we just come back to here. Now I show you here. Whoop, don't lose it on the floor, be good. So here, you can see I've got our grilled tomatoes, our grilled courgettes, we've got our broccoli which we've blanched, I've got our mashed potatoes which we have boiled, and I have got our onions which I've caramelized. And that is our sausage with mashed caramelized onions, broccoli, courgettes and tomatoes. Now if you look at the second part of your sheet, it's asking you to evaluate. Evaluate means to taste. If you don't like it, the customers will not like it. How can you improve the dish? What senses? The first thing we're going to do obviously is we're going to look at that. Before we even eat it, we're going to look at it, smell it, then we taste it. What methods of cookery do we use? And how did we check that the products before we even cooked them were suitable to serve, to cook? Thank you very much. Hope to see you again. Thank you.